Today on R&R on Sports, Larry and Howard dive into the much-anticipated debut of Victor Wimbanyama and ask if the hype is real. Then they are joined by former professional basketball player Kevin Whitted. All of this and more on this week's episode of R&R on Sports. Now, here are your hosts, Larry Robinson and Howard Robertson.
Hello and welcome to R&R on Sports. I'm Howard Robertson.
And I'm the fantabulous one, Larry Robinson. What's up, H?
Hey, man.
How you doing, brother?
Let me tell everybody that R&R on Sports is brought to you proudly by AARP.
I got my card.
Go on. You need it.
I got my card.
You are of age. Everybody go on AARP.org/Black Community for some excellent
benefits.
You got it.
Bennies.
So,
we want them bennies. What you got, brother?
Man, I'm trying to Wimbanyama.
Just call him Webby.
Webby?
Wimby. Okay. I think is what they said.
Victor Wimby.
Yeah,
I want to call him by his given name, Wimbanyama.
Yeah, Wimbanyama.
This boy's about 7'11". His height is the name of the brand. Is the name of the store. He's 7'11", and
he's 7'3.5" with his shoes off.
This is the longest human being I have ever seen.
Hey, bro, 18 years old, 17, 18 years old. This cat is 7'3". Has like a 7'7", 7'8" wingspan. I mean, I'm trying to figure out who gets a shot off against the brother. I mean, well, a whole bunch of people.
Parents. I mean,
the parents.
Somebody that tall got a tall mama.
Well, he's got a tall mama. His mom, I think, is 6'6" or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And his dad is like 6'7",
See, that's
6'9".
That's the key.
So
his mama is like 6'6".
Yeah, she's tall. But she was a professional ball player. Maybe she's not that tall. Let me check. Crack engineering team producer in there. Find out how tall his mama is.
Crack, man.
Yeah. Well,
folks, that's a bad connotation.
That's a bad connotation now.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Folk think
that don't mean
crack.
Good.
They don't mean crack as in Cracker Jack.
Yeah, well, that's what was meant.
Yeah, I know. Anyway,
but no, man, he
good looking man, good looking young man, and very, very, very articulate and well spoken.
Very well spoken. I am really excited about him going to San Antonio because they have a history. They have a history.
They know big guys.
Understanding, but Pop is also going to make sure he's a professional.
Right.
And that's what I love about him. So, quick story. So, our man used to manage the Beale Street Flippers. To give you an idea of how the San Antonio Spurs organization operates. So, we had a time that we were supposed to be at the arena. So, let's say the game starts at 7. We have to be there at, let's say, 6 o'clock. We got there at 6:30. They informed us that we will be performing at halftime, but they also let us know that you will not be invited back.
Oh.
Because they do not
They don't play that.
They don't tolerate tardiness.
Right.
Yeah, I mean every single thing in the San Antonio Spurs organization operates with clockwork. And it's just amazing. So the mom from that amazing team of ours, that amazing journalistic crew that we have in our studios, we find out that the mama was 6'3". 6'3".
Yeah.
6'3". And the dad, I think
he's 6'6".
The dad was a high jumper, and he's 6'6". Yeah,
right.
I got it mixed up. So 6'3".
But it's the mama. The mama is the key.
Yeah, mama's the key. But the dad was a heck of an athlete. So this kid is actually going to be a great jumper, leaper, all of that because of his father and the genetics. So we might be just seeing the very, very tip and it's just the fact that we haven't seen anything else. It might just be his height.
Right.
But you see the way this kid handles the ball. He handles the ball like a point guard.
All right.
I mean, he dishes like a point guard, dishes with his right or his left.
We got a lot to talk about.
Really impressive.
Got a lot to talk about when we come back with more R&R on Sports right after this.
R&R on Sports.
R&R on Sports. R&R on Sports.
Kadzukian.
The company is based in Memphis, but it is international.
A new building, an expanded team, new equipment, a new studio, all inside of 7 years.
The resources that we were able to utilize with Kadzukian and their team has been incredible. And our partners at Kadzukian has been a large part of our success.
One, it's Black owned, so we get to tell our own stories in our own way.
With social media and the technology we have today, the world is listening.
Kadzukian. Check out all your Kadzukian favorites now. Download the Kadzukian app, available on Android and iOS.
This is LeBron's world. This is LeBron's world. And he don't need nothing. Nothing. Except maybe a girl. Born in Akron, a young mother's son. Didn't take him long to see he was the one. He grew and got some height, started playing basketball. Fools tried to check him, and he made them all fall. This is LeBron's world, and it don't need nothing except a girl. Didn't need no college. He went straight to the pros. Played right there in Cleveland, and everybody knows. He took them to the playoffs and the finals too. He didn't win no titles, but he did all he could do. This is LeBron's world, and it don't need nothing except maybe a girl. He went to Miami to play with the Heat. Won back-to-back titles. Even tried to three-peat. Now he's back in Cleveland, and you know he's mega rich. Done made Dan Gilbert his millionaire bitch. This is LeBron's world, and it don't need nothing except maybe Reverend Al's girl.
Community is more than where you live. It's the people in it who go above and beyond to help it thrive.
During the 50th anniversary of hip-hop and the 75th anniversary of Black radio, and year-round, AARP recognizes people, members, volunteers, and partners giving back to our communities. We believe when our efforts drive change for the greater good, we all thrive together. To learn more about how AARP supports efforts to keep our communities thriving, visit aarp.org/Black Community.
That's aarp.org/Black Community.
R&R on Sports.
R&R on Sports. R&R on Sports.
Welcome back to more R&R on Sports. So, Actually, it's a lot going on. I mean, any more about the draft? Anything surprise you?
Well, not really. I'm surprised that with the Brandon Miller kid, this kid must be really, really good, and he is. Play down in Alabama. You know, he's the guy that supplied the gun to the other player that killed the kid or the young lady. I'm really surprised that hasn't had more blowback. This kid went number 2 in the draft, playing exceptionally well in summer league. But I'm just surprised that no one is really talking about he supplied the murder weapon down in Alabama.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. Everybody needs to be alert and on the lookout for a really hard stance by the NBA and all others involved when it comes to gun stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
It is so rampant.
But wait a minute. There's been none with this kid. The NBA has not gotten involved. The NCAA didn't get involved. Very little damages at the university where as far as him being penalized or anything.
Right.
I just find it interesting, though. I find it interesting that this is the kid that gave the kid the gun to shoot the kid.
Right.
And I'm just saying, wow.
This is the kid that gave the kid the gun to shoot the kid.
There you go. Oh. Talk about a tongue twister right there, baby. But nah, seriously though. But I mean, back to the NBA and the draft.
Well, wait a minute. Wait. What? I can't let this go by because you said this. You said something pertaining to this and alluding to this, and it came true. You said, I don't know if you said it on the show, but you said it on TV, on the TV show that we did. So what do you think about the Memphis Grizzlies move to add not only Marcus Smart, but a guy named Derrick Rose?
I think it's the smart. I love the management team of the Memphis Grizzlies. Zach Kleiman and Jason Wexler. I mean, I love what they've been able to do. They've taken this situation with Ja and turned it into something very positive and bringing in Rose and then bringing in Smart as well. I think it's a great move. I think.
Can I be honest?
What's that?
I didn't think Rose was still in the league.
Really?
I did not. How did I go through a whole?
Don't say that. Don't say that in public.
I did.
Don't say that in public.
I went through a whole season. I didn't. I didn't notice him at New York. It was the Knicks.
Been getting busy. Great ball. Been playing some good ball these last couple of years. But I'll say this.
Well, I didn't say couple of years. Year before last. But I don't know. I overlooked him in 23.
Well, that's probably
22.
Well, that's probably you got some other things on your mind. But no, I really am. I'm excited about the Grizzlies and what they've been able to do. I think the NBA is really moving into a really, really fascinating time. In that, you got the moves that Kyrie Irving. I mean, that's been something. I mean, Kyrie Irving has had such a bang-up, amazing summer that no one's really talking about. I mean, this kid did a deal. He got the max deal virtually, and Dallas was bidding against themselves. No one wanted Kyrie, and he got a max deal there. Then he turns around and does a 5-year deal with Anta, the new shoe deal over in China. He did a new shoe deal, but in addition to that, he is the creative
He's
director,
a chief creative officer. How do you do that?
Hey, man.
Well, I guess for your brand.
But listen, no, for probably all the brands, because his shoes were the third most selling shoes at Nike. Now, if you know all the shoes that Nike's selling, you got LeBron, you got KD, and then you got Kyrie somewhere in there. So what I'm saying is this kid, and if you know his shoes and the construction of his shoes, he is got that gift very similar to Kobe.
Good for him.
Very good for him.
That's very, very
But
good.
what do you think about Damon? Let's switch gears a little bit.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard finally came out and said, I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that a whole lot of money can cover up a whole lot of stuff.
Right.
And it has.
It has.
Low for a few years.
You know that kid making $60 million.
I know he making
$60 million a year.
He making stupid
He's hitting
money.
the lottery
money
every
crazy
year.
Crazy money. But he got the money, but he doesn't have much else.
Right.
In terms of that.
Right.
And he's ready for a change. I respect it. I mean,
what do you think about him asking to go to Miami?
I respect that.
Really? Why?
You have not. Well, you have not because you ask not. If that's where
go on, preacher.
If that's where you want to go, tell somebody. You know.
Right.
I'm not mad at him. I mean, you know, it's good when you control have whatever amount of control, some control over your future, and you don't. And you have power. You still maintain your power. That's what we were talking about Ja.
Right.
That's why you can't do stupid stuff.
Right.
You got to be in a position, you need to be in a position to be able to to whatever extent, call shots for yourself.
Have you ever seen, in marketing, have you ever seen anybody's brand take a hit like this? I mean, in real time.
No.
In real
short answer.
I mean,
answer.
You saw this happening
short
like
answer.
In real time.
But wait. Hold.
Okay.
Here's the question. Have I ever seen anybody hit their own brand? Their brand had to take a hit because they issued the hit.
Yeah.
Have I ever seen anybody damage their own brand like that quickly? No.
Wow. I mean, I'm trying.
I mean, it's not. I'm not saying it's irreparable. It's not. It's not irreparable.
But here's what the Grizzlies did. They quickly made him not the highest paid player.
Yes,
on the team.
they did. Didn't they?
Quickly.
Desmond Bain. It is well deserved. He deserves that.
Well,
I'm glad they did.
He's the man. He is the man now. He will be looked at as the guy who needs to carry the team.
Glad they did that.
He got what, 207 million over 5?
More than they've ever paid anybody before in history.
But and that's without the Supermax situation. So once again, man, I think Ja is lost his franchise first of all, and I think he can gain it back. But I think for the most part, he's lost the city. People really disappointed in his actions.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, they are starting to realize here, what I'm hearing is that they're starting to realize that he's just not wrapped that tight and that he's just exciting. He's an amazing ball player. But as far as the person on an individual level, he's not perceived to be a guy that, you know, is just a kind of rap type.
And
guy.
For those of you who may not have seen it, they have issued an arrest for his friend.
Yeah, Devontae Pat.
Right.
Yeah. But now he's in court about this kid, the kid that he hit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to be more to come out of this.
Yeah.
I know they're trying to get it thrown out through the.
They lost on that today.
So they lost today?
Yeah.
But they're trying to get it thrown out on self-defense.
Right.
But you got 2 grown men beat up a 17-year-old kid. Okay.
All right.
So.
Great segue. Who we got?
Man, we got a surprise for you, actually. So stay right there.
All right.
We're going to be right back after these messages.
Riffin' on Jazz.
And he's a good man, as we say in Memphis, Tennessee, where we're coming to you from. And we hope you're enjoying what we're doing.
Riffin' on Jazz on the Kazukian Network.
Welcome back.
I thought you wanted me to open up.
I said I would come back and you. But go ahead.
No, you go. You go. Since you want to go out and be new and stuff, go ahead. Open up the show, man. People waiting on you.
I just welcomed everybody back.
You welcomed them back?
Yes, to the interview segment of R&R on Sports.
What's it called?
And now Larry will tell you about our guest. How about that? Is that good?
Is an amazing guest. He actually has played in the great Laney High School. Someone else played at Laney High School by the name of MJ. Letters MJ. Secondly, the brother played at University of Tennessee.
Michael Jackson.
Did Michael Jackson play basketball? Oh, okay. All right, then. Listen, we today, without further ado, we have Kevin Whitted of Kevin Whitted Basketball Services. What's up with you, brother?
Welcome, Kevin.
How y'all doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm sorry you got to deal with all this foolishness, man. But you know, we got old people in here, man, and we trying to bring them along. We treat, you know, we got this reclamation program we have over here.
You better hurry up. The bus is gonna pick me up in a minute. Van gonna be out there blowing.
Kevin, we like to start. Give us a little bit of the backstory, man. Where you from? What you do, and you know, that type of thing. How you get to right here?
Wow. Well, long story.
Give us the Cliff Note. The Cliff Notes.
Yeah, the Cliff Notes. Okay. Well, born and raised Wilmington, North Carolina.
Okay.
Right.
Yep. Proud son.
On the beach, right?
Yes.
Man.
Proud son of Luther and Dolores Whitted.
All right.
Two educators. They taught school for 30 years.
Okay.
Both of them, they retired, and they brought me along. I was a great, ball player. Parents were great athletes as well. Went to University of Tennessee after my high school career, as you just mentioned. I played with a great teammate, Allen Houston. And, played for Wade Houston.
Right.
After that, played professional basketball over in Europe. And after playing over in Europe, I discovered another talent that I had, really teaching the game, not coaching it.
Right.
And it's something that I kind of started doing it little by little. All of a sudden, I just kept finding myself doing it every summer until I retired. And then all of a sudden, I found myself in the teaching school for a couple of years, which gave me a great foundation to kind of figure out how to teach properly. So once I did that, I opened my Kevin Whitted Basketball Services, and it ballooned up from there. Between that, a lot of stops, coaching stops, summer league with the Grizzlies, Southwest, junior college, Fort Wayne Mad Ants, by way of Indiana Pacers, Brooklyn Nets, Springfield Armor, New York Knicks.
You in New York, yeah. You was at
that was my last
right?
stop. Yeah, so you talking about a lot of time. You talking about 10 to 12 years of experience, along with coaching in the PBL. I coached in my hometown in Wilmington with the Sea Dogs. So it's just been a great time for me to just grow as a player and coach.
Do you miss, because what do you like most? You like the coaching most, playing?
I love playing because you can control the narrative.
Right.
Coaching, you're at the mercy of the players. So that it's tougher. Only difference I love about coaching is it gives me a chance to implement all the concepts that I learned from all the great coaches that coached me.
Okay.
And I
Who were some of those that stood out? What was one of the coaches that stood out?
Well, it started off when my high school coach was great. He gave me that great foundation in terms of just respecting the game. Playing for Wade was great as well. Wade was a great recruiter. He taught me how to be a people person, understand that your first impression is the best impression.
Right.
So you only have one time to impress anybody, the first time you meet them.
Right.
Kevin O'Neal hated him initially, ended up started loving him because of the details, how hard he worked me. Sometimes it was just too much, but it actually helped me because it
Kevin
made me
O'Neal
a better.
was that at UT as well?
Yes. Yeah, he coached me my last year at UT after Coach Houston left. And that was a great time for me because it gave me a chance to grow in a different way in terms of just, really introducing all the analytics. All those things started to come about at that time. Lawrence Frank was there as an assistant coach. Wow. He lived basically in my apartment with me all the time. So so I learned a lot from those guys, and it kind of catapulted me into the coaching realm. So once I finished playing, it was easy to kind of make that transition. So it kind of started then.
You made a distinction between teaching basketball and coaching basketball.
Yes.
Talk about the difference in the nuance between that, because most of us don't understand that there is a difference between coaching it and teaching it.
Yes. Well, coaching is more managing. You're managing things that are already in place. So you have to kind of figure out a way to implement those ideas in something that's already established. And that's basically what happens when you're coaching. When you're teaching, you get a chance to really start from the beginning.
Right.
Everything begins from the foundation, and you're able to kind of bring them in like you're bringing in someone to Motown. You know, when you come to Motown, who's the first person you see? Charlie Atkinson. They got to work on your footwork. Miss Mary's going to teach you how to dress.
Right.
You know, and then you got to go on to, I think, the Holland Brothers. I think that's their name.
Suzanne DePass will teach you how to talk.
Exactly.
How to interview.
Yeah, then they have their sounds. You know, they got to find out how you sound.
Right.
Where, you know, where your range. You know, are you upper, down, low, you know, tenor?
Right.
The whole nine before you go see Barry. So basically, that's when I say teaching, because right there they're actually teaching you how to get to that process to build you up to a point, to bring you to a point where you can actually now go in front of someone and perform. So
how much easier or better is it, if at all, to teach it, given that you don't have the pressure of a looming game or games coming up? Yeah. Is that better? Does that make it better?
Well, it does to a certain degree, because you have a chance to have trial and error without anyone really critiquing to that degree.
Yeah.
Once you go up a level, you're being critiqued, even though you're teaching. But coaching is just another gamut now. It's a different game now.
Right.
Coaches they're not allowed to teach anymore. They're allowed to only manage what's going on above. Decisions are being made, especially in the NBA where I came from.
Right.
You know, they've already made decisions about how they're going to go about working with a player, you know, what results they want. You need to meet the demand now of that. That's the hard part about coaching, where in the development side, where teaching is more important for me, I get a chance to really institute the things that I feel like they're going to help a player long term beyond the team that they're playing on. So that's the difference.
This is R&R on Sports, and we're listening to Brother Kevin Whitted of Kevin Whitted Basketball Services, former pro ball player, college ball player, and one of the greatest to come out of Laney High School in Wilmington, North Carolina. So, Kevin, when you think about coaching and you think about playing, what are those things that would you say has been your superpowers? So when you were a player, what was your superpower? Now that you're a coach, teacher, what's that superpower?
Well, as a player, I could play inside out, so I could adjust to any type of flow of game and style. When I came along, you know, that's when the traditional bigs changed. You know, I'm 6'9", so I was able to shoot the three. I was able to handle the basketball. So I was a 4 starting off initially, and then I turned into
really
a 2.
Before your time, because now you would be like, you'd be a 3 and D right now.
Exactly. Where it started with, you know, like I said, seeing Derek Coleman, Billy Owens, those guys right before me in '87, I came up right behind those guys.
Right.
You know, all of us. So we were able to revolutionize the game from that standpoint. We saw, you know, Derek Coleman, to Chris Webber, Jawan Howard, all of us were able to stretch the floor out. So that gave me a chance to really explore the game. So from that standpoint, playing the game, I saw a lot of things that impacted the game, and I was able to adjust to it immediately.
Right.
Coaching it, probably the sweet spot for me is in terms of I'm able to adjust to players. I'm a player's coach.
Okay.
So when the game is in play, I have a feel for what needs to go on.
Okay.
And when you play at a high level and you've seen so many things in so many different games, so many types of flow of games, I'm able to make reads quickly. I always tell players all the time, you can get me down to the 2-minute mark and keep the game close. I'll help us win because I know exactly what to do in terms of put us in a position to win.
What to do and when to do it.
Yes. Absolutely. Knowing when and why. And that's the important part.
How different are the players today versus the players when you were playing?
I think people ask me that question all the time.
Okay.
Players are still the same.
Okay.
It's what's happened are the expectations and that everything is moving at such an accelerated rate that they're not patient with the people that are actually directing them. Because now, because of analytics, because of these cameras that we have, you know, everything is polarized so much more now, where before we used the eye test. Now other things are in place. So now the human side is getting removed, which makes it harder. So now the players are adjusting to that. So they take advantage of that. Just like we would have taken advantage of it.
Right.
You know, I mean, I remember my last coaching job when I saw not Mike's, they put pieces in jerseys to actually track people's heart racing, all that, and then they decided basically how long you could practice, when you could practice. And I was like, wow, we just had a 3-game losing streak. You talking about you got to sit out?
Right.
So that's what makes it. That's the difference. Okay. Where back in the day, it was like, nah, coaches made decisions, everyone else stayed out of it, and we did what we needed to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. Listen, this is R&R on Sports. Listen, we going to break, but when we come back, we're going to talk to Kevin about his school, the players of today, and we're going to probably touch on Ja a little bit. So listen, stay right there. We'll be right back. R&R on Sports on the Kazuki Network.
Humans Being with Kirk Whalum.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, now I'm going to say my friend, Jonathan Capehart.
You came up and tapped me on my shoulder and you said, I'm a big fan. My name's Kirk Whalum. And I just about jumped out of my skin because I was like, wait, Kirk Whalum is saying hi to me? He's a fan of mine? Get out of here.
Humans Being with Kirk Whalum.
Welcome back to R&R on Sports. See how quickly that evaporates.
Man,
the countdown, mic is hot, and then you freeze up.
I got respect for my elders. That's all it is. I just want to make you feel good about
Kevin
yourself.
Whitted is with us today, and I want to ask you about this. We talked about teaching versus coaching and all of that. So describe, give us the avatar, as they say, of the player that you are working with now, the players that you are working with now. On average, they are how old, where in school, and all of that?
Well, with our company, we're seeing all ages with Kevin with Basketball Service. So when we established our company, we wanted to make sure we hit all age groups and all skill sets. So we have a beginners program where we start with kids at the age of 8. Okay. This gives us a chance to really introduce the game to them, all the fundamental skills, footwork, ball handling, shooting. Then we get in intermediate kids, which they're pretty much established all those things, and now it's about learning situations, how to play a position now.
Right.
What do you do well? Right. Same thing as we talked about going into a music studio. Right. So we need to find out what you do well and start amplifying those things daily to work. And then we also find out your weaknesses. So we start strengthening your strengths, strengthening your weaknesses even more. And then obviously we have advanced players that come in on the high school level that they're pretty much prepared at that point from a fundamental standpoint. Now it's just really about enhancing their skill set to kind of make them more available for college coaches to look at from a standpoint where it's time to now really take that look to see where you will fit in and all that. So we have that program as well. We also have our college prep program, which we have guys that are in college already that come in. We see them kind of year round, where I'm talking to them, giving them advice about what to do, what not to do, kind of helping them in that process, getting them ready for the pros. Then we have our pro players that are coming in where I'm talking to them yearly as well and year round. So I'm always instituting fundamentals from the beginning that we always focus on, but the main thing is we adjust it based on the player we're working with and how much we can give them, how much we need to not give them right now, because sometimes you can overexpose them to too much information too early, and then you're not losing the player, but now they're trying things they don't need to be trying, and it affects their overall development.
So set us straight. My compadre here and I accuse AAU of doing a couple of things with kids as it relates to their game. First of all, these are kids that have promise, can be good ball players and whatnot, but they start catering to them very, very early.
Yes.
Somebody's following them around, kissing their butt from a young age. And we say that the programs might not focus on fundamentals as much as they should because everything is about winning. It's all about winning. Are we off, crazy, or correct?
We're actually 40% in. on it, because I think, again, it goes back to there's nothing wrong with the players. There's nothing wrong with AAU. What's going on is that we have unqualified people in leadership positions trying to give structure. So that impacts the development of kids because they don't have the education or the information. Now they're what we call YouTube sensation coaches that are community-based, and they get one degree or level of understanding, and then they say, I got it. And that impacts so many kids. And it's impacted a lot of kids, particularly in our community. So, we need to really make a focus of getting guys in that actually have been there and done it, because we have nothing to lose or gain by helping them. And those are the people that need to be involved. And that's who was involved when we came along. When I think about Earl Jackson, that's passed on from my hometown, Meadowlark Lemon's cousin. I mean, he was instrumental in the early development stage for me. He didn't want anything from me. All he wanted to see me do is be successful. But he had the information and the education because of the background. Being around Meadowlark and just going on Michael Jordan, seeing Michael's progress, my high school coach, same thing. They weren't looking to ride my coattail. These are the coaches I played with. They were there to push me and say, no, you go on, son. I got mine.
Right.
Yeah. You need to go get yours. Those are people that need to be involved with these high-level players.
Do parents understand that as they should? Do they understand?
Hell no. Because parents are running out the stands, fighting coaches, fighting referees and everything. They couldn't understand a damn thing at this point.
And there's a lot of pressure now on the game now because of social media.
Man,
because
NIL,
of it's so much pressure now on parents and players. It impacts everyone. And I think the more we educate parents about the process and they understand how to get their kid in the position to be around the right people, that'll kind of help offset a lot of the anxieties that they're having.
What kind of chaos, in terms of to Larry's point about NIL, what kind of chaos are we creating in the hearts and minds of these kids when they have so much latitude and they can make money and they can get in the transfer portal and they can do anything they feel like they want to do, just strictly in their interest? What do you say about that?
It's tough. I mean, we're just starting it I'm sure in the next 3 years we'll have a lot of information to kind of support, was it good or bad, when the next 2 or 3 years. Right now, from my naked eye seeing things, I don't like some of the things that's going on because I don't believe a kid should have benefits before, the work.
Absolutely.
So, all the great ones in the past, we earned it with our sweat and equity on the court.
Right.
And the package of what we presented to the public, and it was seasoned. So when a company got their hands on us, they had something seasoned and ready to go. Where now we have young players coming along now, that process hasn't happened. They're doing it based on potential. And when the potential comes in the door and they're excited about it, now everyone that's involved with you, that's walking with you, they're excited now, and they're uneducated. So now they're saying, go, do it. And it's like, no, he's not ready. So I think if we can get some big brothers involved, people that are involved, people like myself that can actually help people in that process, say, no, not time yet. It's coming.
You know what hit me? What was the kid's name from San Diego? Mikey Williams.
Yeah.
When I heard that he had gotten picked up, they went and got him, and for this murder trial that they were he was involved in, and they said they went to his parents' $1.2 million home that he had bought.
Okay.
That hit me like
what can you tell that kid?
That hit me like a ton of bricks. What are you going to tell? What are you going to say to an 11th or 12th grade kid that his parents live in a house a $1.2 million house that he bought in high school? What? I mean, I don't know what we're doing, man. I mean, I can't see where much good can come out of what's going on, because they have little controls. I mean, I'm not against kids making money and gaining revenue and whatnot, but you got to do any of that with controls. and there are no controls in terms of that. There are no controls in terms of the transfer portal and all of that. And I think we're creating chaos.
Well, yeah, I mean, with two stories that jump out right away when you say that makes me think about my own parents to a certain degree. You know, my parents were retired teachers.
Yeah.
You know, I went on and did everything I could do to help them.
Right.
But the bottom line is my dad looked at me and said, look, son, we got ours. Our house is paid for.
Right.
Our second home is paid for.
Right.
You ain't got to do nothing but go be successful.
Yeah.
They took all the pressure off.
Yeah.
I think about my college teammate. His dad had owned businesses.
Right.
You know, they were accustomed to already being in a position to do things. So they understood what we call generational wealth.
Absolutely.
All right. Also, I think about Bill Russell. I heard him tell this story one time about his dad. I remember he wanted to retire his dad. And his dad said, no, son, you go do what you got to do. Because he was the first, I think, 100,000. I think Chamberlain got 100,000, and he said, "No, I need $100,001."
Well, yeah, I got that.
Then he called his dad and said, "Dad, you retire." And his dad said, "No, I'm not." He said, "I already put in 30 years. They're gonna give me some more money. You gonna go get yours." So, at the end of the day, what I'm saying is that when I see those situations, there's nothing wrong with going and I think parents lose their power in the process because they allow their children to get in a position to now carry them.
Absolutely.
Now, I believe in helping your parents. You know, you're supposed to reward your parents because they did all those things to get you where you need to be. But at the same time, you need to make sure that as a parent that you stay in a position where you can still stay in control of your affairs.
Right.
And I think that situation there you're talking about is kind of a demonstration of a little bit of that because kids are going to be kids. They're going to make decisions. They're going to get into stuff. But we need to be in a position where we can tell our kids, no, we're not in that. You need to straighten that out. And that's just a parenting thing. So that's the world we in today, and those
and mamas are leaning on that shield real hard because they're going, well, baby, you know you the man of the house.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Well, like I said, historically, those things. That's how the household came about. The youngest son or that son in the house, if the father wasn't there, became the man of the house.
Right.
So he assumed all those responsibilities.
Right.
But you need a mentor.
Right.
Mentors need to be around to kind of usher that young man into that so he can understand how to make decisions that are, best for the family. Go ahead.
This is R&R on Sports, and we're speaking with Kevin Whitted of Kevin Whitted Basketball Services. You doing something. You mentioned kids. We got an issue with our kids. We got a lot of things happening in the hoods and communities that, especially with black boys.
Mm-hmm.
You got something that's coming up. What you got going on?
Well, we're hosting the Young Three Clinic. It's in conjunction with the Big Three, and that's coming here this Saturday.
Right.
I got involved with it 3 years ago with JYD, Junkyard Dog. He brought me in as a consultant to help him with it. So I traveled all over the country with him for 2 or 3 years doing it. And when COVID happened, we lost the opportunity to have it here. So they're bringing it back now. And when they brought it back, my company grew excessively, and we partnered with the Big Three and the Young Three, and we made a decision now to say, hey, let's do a clinic, and I'll host it in terms of bringing our staff, our professional staff, along with the Young Three staff. Awesome. And what we can do is, teach all the fundamentals, all the things that we were just talking about, how to make life decisions, teach them about financial literacy, the whole nine, and bring them in a setting where we can teach them all these things in a 4-hour radius, and then when the afternoon comes around, we can let them go play in the 3-on-3 setting, which we feel like is more controlled, and we can also give them a chance to really play the game the right way.
Right.
But teach them all the fundamentals early on. So that's what's going on this weekend. I think it's going to be a phenomenal event for us. I'm looking forward to the city coming out. We got some great sponsors involved. I think the Reeves, they came in and got involved. Reeves, our law firm. We have some T-shirt companies. I mean, we have a lot of people involved.
Right.
So many people are coming out that have helped us out, and we appreciate everyone. It's going to be a good event.
That's great.
I'm really, really excited about the work you're doing, and the life skill piece is the part that I'm really interested in. Glad you guys are adding that in. Where can people find you, and if they wanted to become pupils of the Kevin Whitted Basketball Service?
Well, we're easy to find. You can always go on our website, kevinwhittedbasketball.com. You can go to Kevin Whitted Basketball on Instagram.
Spell it for them so they get the Whitted.
Yeah, K-Dub. So it's Kevin Whitted, WHITTED, basketball.com. You can also go on Instagram and Facebook as well. So you can always find us. You can reach us by phone as well. 888-780-2216.
All right.
All right. You can get with it or you can get without it.
That's right. You got to get with it.
Hey, you ain't got no future in this business. We appreciate you being with us, man, here on R&R on Sports. And we're going to have you back. We got
just talk some hoop, man.
We got a lot
we can talk a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff happening, and I think too many people are forgetting about the fundamentals.
Hold on. Before we go, where Dame Lillard going to end up?
It's a good question. I know he wants to go to Miami.
Right.
He needs to open the door for, I think Philly would be great with him and Joel Embiid. I think that would be a good look for him. Those are really the two teams. I say in the East. He's not going West. They're not going to let him out. They're not letting him go West.
Right.
That's not happening.
No, that ain't happening.
But I think the Heat and Philly, those are the two teams he needs to really focus on. I wouldn't be surprised if Boston made a blockbuster move. Watch out.
Yeah.
Watch out because because they have some pieces still they can offer.
They got plenty of
and
too.
They're ready to win now.
Right.
And they're trying to figure out how to get back to the finals and be able to get over the top.
I find it interesting they ain't gave Brown his contract yet.
There you go.
Y'all talk off mic. Back for more R&R on Sports right after this.
Blues in the basement.
Yeah, the blues about your girl is gone.
My baby done left me. Gone and left me all alone.
Denise LaSalle.
Everybody know that my first big gold record was recorded right at High Studio.
Blues in the basement on the Kazukian Network.
R&R on Sports.
And we are back. And I know this is not the voice that you're typically hearing coming back, but Howard had to step. So we have a replacement. We made a sub. We have brother Kevin Whitted, who's sitting in for brother Howard Robertson, and we're going to give our shout outs. Well, today I want to shout out this amazing sister, Claire Smith. If you remember, she was on the show a few months ago. She got the Red Smith Award in Las Vegas on Tuesday, a prestigious distinction given annually by the Associated Press sports editors that is considered the organization's highest honor. Smith is the first Black woman to receive the award, which is presented to a writer or editor who has made contributions to sports journalism. Don't forget, Claire Smith was the first Black woman beat writer for Major League Baseball. So shout out to Claire Smith. Doing big things, sisters making it happen. Brother Whitted, you got something?
Yeah, man. That's awesome. First of all, I say Black coaches now.
Black coaches?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me tell you why. Because I've been in the coaching game for a while.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of coaches come and go so quickly, particularly African American coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that they're giving African American coaches a chance now to develop with the players.
Right.
As you can see,
a lot of young coaches.
Yes,
a lot of young coaches.
Yes, and I think
staff. And what's the other young guy that actually just took over for him in Houston?
That's right.
Yeah, Emmy.
Yeah, we got Emmy. He got a second chance.
Got a second chance,
which is important. We don't get second chance.
We don't get.
And
second
the thing
chances.
is now that guys that get him is great. Monty Williams loses his job in Phoenix, gets $70 million, and
becomes the highest paid coach in history.
Exactly, until Pop.
Yeah,
3 days ago. But at the same time, we're going to see $100 million coach in the next couple of years. It's coming.
What does that mean, real quickly? What does that mean when a player has a coach making a high salary and it's on par with players? Does it carry any extra weight?
It helps in terms of the economic change of the league because coaches have been minimized.
Right.
To a certain degree. We're not in the I would say the power position. We're not in the power position anymore to affect change anymore in the organization.
I got you.
Giving coaches that kind of salary now actually catapults them back into the arena that they should be in originally because they're making all the decisions that impact winning and losing to a certain degree, putting players in position because management has so much control. They still have control, but at the same time, it gives a coach now more credibility in the locker room with players. When you see a guy making $45 to 50, $60 million a season,
right,
and you're making only 10, your voice is limited.
Right.
Listen,
this is R&R on Sports. We want to thank you for tuning in with us. Listen, come back. We're sponsored by AARP. Come back, check us out. We good people over here. Listen, till next time, I'm Larry Robertson, for my absent co-host, Howard Robertson, and for our guest co-hosts and guests for the show, Brother Kevin Whitted. Listen, next time. Peace.
R&R is hosted by Larry Robinson and Howard Robertson. R&R is directed, produced, recorded, and distributed by Kadzukian.